Hello students, I Dr. Premchand Vasist welcome you all in the lecture 5th of unit 5th. The topics we will cover in this lecture are directory structure, operations performed on directory, file system structure. The figure shows a simple view of directory structure, directory versus files, a collection of nodes containing information about all files, and both directory structure and the file reside on the disk. Backup of these two structures are kept on the secondary memory, secondary devices, or on the tapes. Here the word tape has been written. This term is not valid in nowadays because the word tape was utilized. The tapes were used to store the information, large information in the previous years, 10 to 20 years back. So we can say now the secondary memories instead of tapes. Various operations which can be performed the directory are searching a file, creating a file, deleting a file, list a directory, rename a file, and traverse into the file system. So I'm again repeating, the unit 5th is very simple, very logical. Only the requirement is that your one attempt of reading is required to study to learn the unit 5th. Also I am again repeating, the 20 marks questions will be there. So it is again as important as unit 1, 2 or 3 or 4. So you are advised to go through with the Galvin book. I am again repeating because the complete syllabus of unit 5th is available in the Galvin book. And again, if you want a quick study, you have to take the lectures I am providing, and after that you go to the book. Then it will be very easy process to learn. These are the different ways of organizing a directory in the logical way to enhance the efficiency for naming purpose and for grouping purpose. This is single directory structure, single level directory structure. A single directory for all the users having the different files, but having a problem of naming, because a person can't have the similar name for two files. Similarly, we can say every file required a unique name. So the naming is the biggest problem in the situation when a system is having single level directory. Similarly, the grouping problem is present. We can't group the files all together. This is the picture of two level directory. Here, every user is having a separate directory. In other words, separate directory for each user. The user is having its own directory, and in that directory he or she can save his own files. So at some instant, at some level, the problem of naming has been resolved over here, because every user can have their own files into their own directory. So I will say, if I am saying ABC is a file name, so user 1 can use the ABC file name, user 2 also can use the ABC file name. But in the previous single level directory system, even the users can't have the ABC and ABC file, because they are sharing a single directory. Again, the problem of grouping has not been solved over here, but searching can be efficient, because every user will search into his or her directory only. This is the tree structure directories. The explanation of this has been given into the next slide. The problem of naming the files has been resolved in the two level. Also in this tree structure directory, we have solved the problem of naming the files. Same time, we are also capable of grouping. Capability of grouping has been enhanced in the tree structure directory. Efficient searching is there, and current directory, working directory, can be given as cd spell. This is some example of the DOS system and some example from the Linux system. This topic give you the brief idea of access list and the groups. This has been divided into the three classes of the users, that is owner access, group access, public access. If the person is owner, then he can have 1 1 1, means one for read, one for write, one for execute. R is read, W is write, and X is execute. If it is having a group access, then read write writes are there. If it is a public access, then only the one, that is 0 0 1. Similarly, the binary of this has been given. 1 is having 0 0 1, 6 is 1 1 0, and 7 is 1 1 1. So by this way, we can define the different classes for the users to access their rights, to access the mode of access in the directory structure. In continuation to the access list and their groups, as we can classify three labels, that is owner access, group access, or the public access we discussed in the last slide. Similarly, a file is also having a file system structure wherein you are having the logical storage unit, you are having the collection of related information, file system organized into the layers, and last but not the least, a file is having a file control block. Similarly, as we are having a PCB, that is process control block related to a process, we are having the file control block related to a file. Likewise, PCB, process control block, we are having FCB, that is file control block. A file control block consists of the information of the different permissions of the file, date of creation, date of access, date of write, read write. Similarly, the file owner, who are the owner of this file, or the group, or you are having the ACL, that is access control list, who else can access this file size, file data blocks, or the pointer to the file data blocks. The last topic of unit 5th is allocation methods. How we can allocate the values, how we can allocate the blocks into the system or into the disk blocks has been defined over here. We are having three ways, that is contiguous allocation, linked allocation, and index allocation. In contiguous allocation, each file occupies a set of contiguous blocks on the disk. It's simple, only starting location and length are required. Random access is available but wasteful of the space. The space is wasted over here. File cannot grow. Means once you have allocated a file, once you have stored a file, we can't grow the file. This is the example of contiguous allocation of disk space. Here we are having three columns in the directory. Three columns are file, start, and the length. As I told you, it requires only the starting value and the length of the file, and similarly we can allocate, allocation can be done as contiguously. Simply for an example, I am taking the name file count. It starts at the value at the block number 0 and having length 2, so 0 to 1 blocks will be occupied, will be allocated in the contiguous allocation. Similarly, I am taking the second example of the file list. The name of the file is list. Starting point is given as 28 and the length is given as 4. So it will start from the 28 and will be there till 31. So 28, 1, 29, 2, 33 and 31, 4. So length is 4. Starting point is 28. So by this way we can do the allocation in contiguous allocation. But you will see some free spaces like 8, 9, 10, 11. These are the wastage of the spaces. Same time, if we have to grow the file, any file, say example file count, the file count, we can't grow it because the reason is that we can't enhance into the length. Here we are having the 2 and 3 free blocks, but some situations are there where some free blocks are not available in the continuation of that file. Say example, you can see if we are having this file tr is starting from 14 and having length 3, so 14, 15, 16 has been occupied. Now if we have to grow it till the 4 or 3 length, then only 2 blocks are available, 17 and 18. We can't grow it till the 3 length or 4 length or 5 length, because the reason is that another file name as mail has been started with the number, with the name, with the block as 19. So the possibility of growth in the file is not available in the contiguous allocation. The name shows linked allocation. Each file is linked. List of the disk block. Block may be scattered anywhere on the disk. Figure shows the linked allocation. Here we are having the directory consists of file name Jeep, starting point 9 and ending point 25. So the in between length of the file Jeep will be covered internally into the disk as well. It will provide only the starting point and the end point and the file name. So we are having the file name as zip, starting at 9, going to the 9. After 9, it is going to 16. From 16, it is going to 1. From 1, it is going to 10. And from 10, it is going to the 25. And -1 denotes that the file ends over here at the block number 25. This is index allocation, which brings all the pointers together into index block, and the example has been given into the next slide. The example of index allocation has been provided into this slide. You will see into the directory the file name is zip, the index block is 19, and this index block is consist of all the information of different indexes which are being given as 9, 16, 1, 10, 25. So all the information has been kept by the index block. Here the index block is 19, and 19 is having all the links to the file which this particular file consists of. Where the file zip is stored, the file zip is stored onto the block 9, onto the block 16, onto the block 1, onto the block 10, and on the block 25. You can see the indexes going from the 19 to all these blocks. It is going to the 25th, 17th, 9th, 10th, and after that 1. This minus says that it is closing over here. I thank you for listening patiently this unit 5th, lecture 5th. So here the syllabus of unit 5th has been covered. I hope you have understood the topics. The references for these lectures I have provided to you are given here, written over here. Similarly, I am following the book Operating System Concept by Silverts and Galvin. Same time, some PPTs has been downloaded from the link provided on the serial number 2nd and 3rd.